All right, in this video, we're going to go over our breathing drills. Now, the breathing that we're going to be talking about is our deep belly breathing. We're going to go over a couple different progressions of how to work into that and recruit the diaphragm. The reason that we want to recruit our diaphragm and get into some of that diaphragmatic breathing is because that is what engages our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest or the recovery nervous system. So we kind of have two different pathways that your nervous system will work. You have your sympathetic, which is your fight or flight, right? That adrenaline rush. And then you have your parasympathetic. And the way you can always remember that is that the parachute, is what catches you and slows you down, right? So with our breathing, we want our breathing to engage that parasympathetic nervous system. And what that does is that drops us into that recovery zone, right? Or that recovery mode. It's also good for just relaxing the entire body. Great before you get into a workout, believe it or not, because it will reinforce that diaphragmatic breathing and that recovery breathing in between your sets. So you drill it before you do it during your workout, as well as enhancing your mobility, because as everything gets a chance to kind of relax and unwind, it's a lot easier to stretch and go through mobility work and have greater range of motion because the muscles aren't so fucking wound up and tense. So a couple different ways we can do this. Now, the first one that we're going to go over is what we call our 90-90 breathing. And for this, I'm using a punching bag to prop my feet up on. And I'm also going to be using a handy dandy prop of a box here. Now, the reason for that is you're going to be able to watch this box, or block, I guess. Yeah, it's a yoga block. Okay, you're going to be able to watch the block go up and down as I'm breathing into my belly. So my belly, my stomach is expanding as that diaphragm is pressing down into the stomach to pull more air into your lungs. If you think about the anatomy of your body, you have your rib cage, and your rib cage can expand somewhat, but it's held together by cartilage. So there's a limited amount that it can expand. So your lungs can only move out so much. However, your diaphragm, being the muscle underneath your lungs, can pull your lungs down, right, and compress down into the stomach. And that can elongate the lungs. So your lungs have more room to expand and pull more air in when the diaphragm is moving down. So you can pull more in down than you can pull more in out, right? So in order to get more air in, we want to pull that diaphragm down, imagining like we're breathing into our belly button, right? Or breathing deep into like your nuts, right? Breathe into your toes, whatever cue it is that gets you to pull all that air down deep into your body, that's the cue that you want. All right, and we're going to be going in through our nose, out through our mouth, right, to start. And you can always practice in through the nose, out through the nose to get that nasal breathing as well, which again is just another variation. But for this, I'm going to be going in through the nose, out through the mouth, so you can really hear that forceful exhale as I'm driving all that air out. And the goal is you want to get as much air in, hold, and then as much air out as possible. Right? And really work on stretching out those lungs so that they get used to pulling in more and more air, because the more air you pull in, the more oxygen you get, in your blood, the quicker your body can recover. Simple as that, right? Now, for this 90-90 version, what we're going to do is I'm going to lay down on my back. I'm going to prop my feet up on the bag. So my heels are up, my knees are at 90 degrees, right? And I'm just very lightly going to dig my heels into the bag. So you notice my hips and everything are kind of relaxed, and there's a little bit of space underneath my back here. I want to flatten my back out, pull those hips up just ever so slightly. I'm going to put the block on my stomach here. Now I'm going to take a nice easy breath in. Now you can see that block moving up and down as I'm breathing into my belly button and really recruiting the diaphragm as we go through. So that is our 90-90 version of the breathing. Now this is a great way you can do this with your feet up on a wall. And so grabbing the wall with your feet and pulling up, feet up on a bench, anything where you prop your feet up. If you don't have something to prop your feet up, you can go feet flat on the ground and still just that slight little tuck of the hips to engage those glutes. Breathing in and out. Now, the other variation that we're going to go over is our crocodile breathing. And this is fantastic at the end of the workout when you really want to focus on just pure recovery and getting some good breathing in and letting your body relax and almost fall asleep. It's happened quite a few times with a lot of athletes that I've worked with when we've done this at the end of the workout, where you can get so deep into that relaxation that they end up, conking out, and we start to hear some chainsaws going off. So the way that we do that is we get the bag out of the way here. I'm going to roll over onto my stomach. I'm going to place this block on my low back so you can kind of see a little bit easier here. And now I'm going to make a little pillow with my hands. So my hands are going to be right here. I'm going to go forehead on my hands and then just nice, easy breathing in. All right, and now from there you can see the block moving up and down, and again you can hear how deep those breaths are and how the whole body is relaxing. Even partway through I was able to readjust my arms and let my shoulders relax and fall. So even just by the body language, tonality, you can see the relaxation is real when you do this breathing properly. Now this is something, again, you can knock out ideally 10 to 20 breaths. 20 breaths is a perfect amount before your workout, and then also 20 breaths at the end of the workout, depending on what you feel like your needs are, or just do this throughout the day. So this is a great relaxation drill that you can practice whether you're sitting at a desk or you are walking around, or you have time and you work from home, so you can lay down on the ground and do this yourself. Even if you're just giving yourself a cue of placing your hand on your belly button, right, and just to practice that breathing in and driving that belly button out into your hand to create the space to get more air in. What it does is it engages your recovery, and it gets you to be able to relax if you're someone who's stressed, super high strung throughout the day. All you type A personality motherfuckers out there, which I know there's a lot of you watching this, all these things are moments where you can practice that breathing and bring yourself back down. And getting into that parasympathetic nervous system is phenomenal for your recovery, and also just for the simple fact that it'll help you burn more fat because you're able to reduce cortisol and stay in your aerobic system and all those physiology stuff. We touch on a lot of that in a couple of the other modules, but that as a whole, if you can knock out 5 breaths, 10 breaths, 20 breaths, whenever you have the chance, keep practicing it, and you're going to be able to start to see some tremendous results, and it starts to become more natural and really your default as you go throughout your life. So that being said, that is our deep belly breathing. We'll catch you in the next video.